the African American Cyber Report. My name is Tom Huskerson. Today we have a few things we need to discuss. We're going to be talking about the Equifax data breach that happened in September and impacted millions of people. You need to know what happened, why it happened, and how it could impact your life. We're going to also be talking about the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which is October. I know October is almost over, but still, cybersecurity impacts every part of your life. So we're going to be talking about that as well today. Okay? If you think cybersecurity is just for your computer, laptop, or tablet, smartphone, whatever it is that you use to surf the web with, that's wrong. We're going to be talking about that. You need to be thinking about what's happening with that. All right? Let's talk about Equifax to begin with. You know that Equifax is one of the three major credit reporting agencies. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are all the three giant credit reporting agencies. Well, Equifax is a victim of a major data breach affecting over 140 million Americans. That's a lot of people. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you straight up, you probably got caught up in this one. The data loss includes social security numbers, addresses, birthdays, driver's license numbers, and of course credit card numbers of all kinds. Equifax has reported that it has found no evidence of unauthorized activity on its consumer or commercial credit reporting databases. That's some comfort, but basically what it boils down to is nothing has happened yet. Things are going to start happening. They didn't steal that information for nothing. The breach is considered so serious that Equifax is not only offering monitoring to those people affected by the data breach, but potentially for every American out there. So you might want to investigate what's happening with that. Now, the Equifax chairman and CEO, or former chairman, Richard Smith, said in a statement that the breach was first discovered in mid-July and been going on since May. According to Smith, the hackers exploited a U.S. website application vulnerability to gain access to Equifax's records. Now, the experts are reporting that the hackers exploited a flaw in the Apache Struts computer platform. Alright, kind of technical, so let me explain to you the best I can. The software code that operated Equifax's network and data storage contained a flaw. The hackers understood what the flaw was and used that flaw to gain access to Equifax's records. Alright? Why did it happen? Well, according to several news stories, Equifax had the patch to repair that vulnerability in their network for 2 months, but they failed to install it. So the whole thing could have been prevented if Equifax had updated their software like they were supposed to. You can learn a lesson from this, as Equifax has, I'm sure. Good cybersecurity depends on keeping your devices up to date. Update your phone, your computer, your tablet, all your apps. Don't ignore this. You should have your devices set to update automatically. The failure to update by Equifax is probably going to cost this company about $100 million. So what you need to ask yourself is, what will this kind of mistake cost me? Alright, it could cost you money if you're not careful. Now, you know about the breach. What should you do? Find out if your information was compromised. And like I said before, 140 million Americans, I'm pretty sure we're all caught up in this one. Equifax has set up a website. It's called Equifax2017.com. The website is there to provide you with additional information about the breach. Equifax has also set up a dedicated phone center for consumers with additional questions. That number is 866-447-7559. Call center is open from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right? Equifax is still working on this problem, and they're offering to protect you by enrolling you into their Trusted ID Premier program, regardless of whether your information has been compromised or not. The Trusted ID Premier program is a service offering from Equifax, which includes monitoring of not only your records, but the records of Experian and TransUnion as well. So they're going to monitor all these records. The service monitors for identity theft and performs internet scanning for social security numbers. That's free for 1 year. So what they're doing is they're scanning the internet to find out if your social security number or any other information that you had with Equifax shows up somewhere. All right? Using Trusted ID Premier, the consumers also have the ability to lock and unlock your Equifax credit reports and obtain identity theft insurance. All right? Another company, one of the big three, Experian, is also offering a service that scans the dark web for your personal information. You can check that out at www.experian.com or at the African American Cyber Report website. I wrote about that. Something else you can do is freeze your credit report. That means that you can't use your credit, neither can anybody else. And the only way to get it unlocked is for you to unlock it. That way you can use it for whatever you want. All right? Now, Equifax is working with law enforcement and private investigators to figure out who did this. I wish them luck. Listen, some experts are saying that you should not enroll in Trusted ID Premier program. They believe that you should just assume that your information has been compromised and act accordingly, which is good advice. All right. For me, I say that you should enroll in the free credit report monitoring. As a matter of fact, enroll in every free credit monitoring that's offered to you. First of all, it's free. Second of all, there's a lot of activity in cyberspace. It's good to have more than one set of eyes looking for your personal data. Okay, that's a good thing. But do me a favor. Don't go out there and just sign up for whatever free credit reporting service is out there. Check for the best. Go to consumeradvocate.org. Check for the best free credit monitoring service. You can find a lot of information there, okay? That's consumeradvocate.org. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you straight up, this is nothing to play with, okay? The people who stole this data can use it 10 years from now. They can use it tomorrow. You need to know what is happening to protect yourself, your family, your children, all right? So now you know. You need to go jump on that situation, all right? Let's move on. October is almost over, I know, but it's still National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Now, all month long, I've been writing on the African American Cyber Report about the various things you need to know to protect yourself and your family, all right? But what I come to realize is that some people don't really understand what cybersecurity is. Too many of y'all, too many of my brothers and sisters out there think cybersecurity stops at the computer or whatever device you're using to surf the web. Wrong, all right? Let's get on this topic now so you understand what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from, and how to protect yourself. First of all, do you know the difference between the internet and the World Wide Web? Let me make it clear for you. The internet is a computer network made up of billions of computer networks. This allows computers to talk to each other, banks can talk to stores, devices and machines can talk to each other. Here's the difference. There are no websites involved in these conversations. These are just computer networks hooked up together. It's all computers talking to one another. Now, the World Wide Web, the web, or the websites with www in front of them, is where you find websites. This is where you go to read your news, do your shopping, Facebook, where you chat online, send emails, online dating, all those things you do through a website. The World Wide Web is part of the internet, but they're not exactly the same thing. You can access the internet through the web. Got it? Now, what does it have to do with your cybersecurity? Let's talk about that. Cybersecurity extends beyond your devices to your whole life. And I'm serious about that when I say your whole life. You may not even realize it. Let me give an example of how often you actually access the internet. Do you have one of these? This is your credit or your debit card. How many times a day do you use this? All right? So when you use this, you are actually using the internet, not the web. There's usually not a website involved when you're using a credit card or a debit card. You probably use these at gas stations, 7-Elevens, of course your bank ATM. All right? This is all cybersecurity. What does that have to do with your cybersecurity? Have you ever heard of a skimmer? A skimmer is a small device that is almost invisible to the naked eye. Matter of fact, they make sure you can't see it. It's placed inside card readers. When you swipe your card, that device, that skimmer, reads the information off the magnetic strip on the back of your card and transmits that information to cyber criminals. These skimmers can be found anywhere you use this card. Keep that in mind because I'll repeat it. Anywhere you use this card, there's a possibility there's a skimmer about. As I said already, spotting skimmers is very difficult. Sometimes thieves can mount the skimmer over top the card scanner. You don't even realize it. Sometimes they gain access to the machine itself and put the skimmer inside the machine, inside the gas pump, okay? These cyber criminals are so good that they can even build skimmers with a keypad so that they can steal your PIN, and you would never know you were using it. Check out this picture of a fake keypad. See what I mean? You never know that you just gave away your bank account. So now you see why, you see my point. Cybersecurity goes well beyond your phone or your computer. I'm telling you this right now. Newer credit and debit cards have what's known as the EMV chip or the chip and PIN card, okay? These are much more secure. The data transmitted when you make a purchase with this card is transmitted encrypted. But even then, these cards are not 100% secure either. After the thieves get this information from your card, they may decide to empty your bank account or max out your credit card on a shopping spree. It's called card not present fraud, all right? Card not present fraud. That means the card is not there. This is when the crooks get your card information and go shopping online. And if it's a debit card, you may not get that money back. That's the advantage of a credit card over a debit card, all right? With a credit card, you can dispute a charge because it's credit. But with a debit card, that money comes directly from your bank account. You're going to have to fight to get that money back if you see it again at all, alright? I'm telling you right now, the credit card is a definite advantage when you shop it online, alright? Try not to use your debit card there. Okay, so now you're probably asking yourself, how do I fight these card skimmers? If you investigate the device, you can probably spot a skimmer. You can look for tampering, check the device for any sign that has been tampered with, check the top, bottom, and both sides of an ATM. Looking for something that is out of place. Check the card reader and the keyboard, alright? Push, pull, tug, do whatever it is. Does it look right, alright? Do you recognize it? Is it the same, is it the bank, if it's your bank ATM, does it look different, such as a different color or material, the graphics aren't quite right? Something is not quite right with the machine, okay? If that's the case, don't use that machine. You need to be alert and be paranoid about any machine that takes this little card, alright? If you're at the bank and there's more than one ATM, compare the two ATMs. Are they identical? Do they look the same? If there's something wrong, don't use that card. You have to be alert. If you find something wrong with the ATM, notify the bank and notify the police immediately. Alright? As I told you before, check that keyboard. Is it too thick? Is it loose? Does not look like it fits right? There may be a pin snatching little keypad over top of it, as I showed you before. Don't use that. Alright? Like I said before, push, pull, jiggle, everything. ATMs are pretty sturdy machines, so it should feel solid. Now, card skimmers and fake keypads are installed pretty quickly because the crook don't want to hang around and get caught. But if you pull on one, it may come off in your hand. Another good practice is to hide your hand, cover one hand with the other when you're entering your PIN, alright? Sometimes hackers use little tiny cameras to record people entering their PIN numbers on these ATMs or cash machines. Use one hand to cover the other. Not only that, but somebody over your shoulder may be looking at what you're doing too. It happens, alright? Card skimmer can be anywhere. You need to be alert and look for signs that something is wrong. Be especially aware when you're at the gas pump. A lot of people pump their own gas nowadays. That is a favorite target for these hackers. Why? Because they have a high volume of traffic and they're not closely monitored. A good crook can install a card skimmer in seconds and come back for it in a few minutes, having collected data from several cards. He may do this several times a day at several different stations, okay? These guys are busy. But the criminal may not come back for the skimmer at all. In the past, the skimmers had memory chips in them that required criminals to come back and retrieve the skimmer. That's not the case anymore. The newest skimmers can transmit information via Bluetooth or text message to the criminal's computer or their smartphone. They can install the skimmer, record for hours on end, and you don't even know it. But here's the trick though. Bluetooth has a limited transmission distance, so they may be close by. Somebody sitting in the car don't look right, you need to be suspicious of that always. And you can easily buy these devices on the internet, alright? They're for sale. You can go and search and find Bluetooth skimmers or Bluetooth card readers right on the internet. You can fight back though. Another thing you can do is use your smartphone, right? Your smartphone can detect a Bluetooth skimmer. When you arrive at a gas pump, using a self-serve card, you can whip your card out, whip your phone out at the same time. Go to your settings, turn on the Bluetooth, and wait for it to search for sources. If you see a string of numbers come up that look suspicious, don't use that card swipe, that ATM, that gas pump. Report it to the police and the store management immediately. There's also apps out there that can help you spot a Bluetooth skimmer. It's called a skimmer scanner. It's available for Android, not yet for Apple. But it can detect the presence of a skimmer on a card swipe machine or on a gas pump. The skimmer scanner checks for nearby Bluetooth transmissions and alerts you when one is detected, okay? Let me tell you something. This is serious business. These guys, these criminals this is a new wave of criminal knowledge, criminal technology. You need to be alert for it. You need to understand what's happening. You need to learn how to protect yourself, alright? These Bluetooth skimmers, they're out there. You may have already been a victim and don't even know it. Identity theft, information theft, like the one we talked about at Equifax, that's happening every day. You need to be alert, understand what's happening. Don't wait till you got to fight with the bank over a charge on your credit card or on your debit card. You need to step up to the plate now and understand what's happening. My name is Tom Huskerson from the African American Cyber Report. You can find more information about Cybersecurity Awareness Month at the African American Cyber Report. I'm also on Twitter at AA Cyber Report. You can find me on Facebook. So please, get on top of this. Now you know. Go get it. See you next time.